This is officially 2 weeks of 75 hard down, and my life is completely different. Okay. This is also day 35 of becoming famous. I started this channel 35 days ago. Now, how is my life different, right? How everybody wants to do something like 75 hard, but how has it actually benefited me? How is my life different? Well, I'm now working out twice a day when I never would have done that otherwise, really. I mean, I might have run at least, every couple of days, but I definitely wouldn't have worked out twice a day. Okay. I'm eating better. I'm losing weight. I'm forced to kind of wake up at the same time every day simply because I have so much to do. There's a lot to do with 75 hard. I'm making sure I'm getting a gallon of water. I'm almost never dehydrated now. Sometimes you forget to drink water and you got to drink a lot at the end of the day. But for the most part, right? I'm hydrated. Okay. I'm reading. I have had a lot of trouble sticking to reading. It's just one of those things that's really easy not to do, I find, But I've been reading this entire time like you're supposed to. And on top of that, I'm capturing my progress. Not only am I capturing my progress through progress pics, there's also these videos, where you can actually watch me go through the journey of not only 75 hard right now, but eventually 75 hard will end, as all things do. But the journey of becoming famous, you can also watch that as well happen in real time. I will be famous. I promise you that in some capacity. I don't know what that number that looks like or whatever, but I promise you it'll happen. I'm committed to it. Once you've set an intention like that, okay, it's inevitable, right? I was listening to Chris Williamson and Russ. They did a podcast together recently. I think it came out yesterday, actually. I was listening on one of my 75 hard walks today. And Russ said, it was inevitable that I would succeed at, music. He was, I think, for 2.5 years, 2.5 years, he put a song out every week. Every week. That's on top of 11 albums, I think he said that he had made before, right? What a spectacular amount of work. And people want to congratulate you for that work. It's the same here. People are like, oh, you're working yourself so hard. You're putting out so many videos. I don't know why you're doing it. You're going to burn yourself out. You're going to kill yourself. Please stop so you don't burn out, That's just the thing that somebody does when it's inevitable, right? It's inevitable that I will be a thought leader, right? It will happen. It has been predetermined by me. I have decided that, and I will stop at nothing to make it happen. So when you think about somebody like that, right? What does the person who will stop at nothing to make something happen do? Well, they do ridiculous things like upload 4 videos a day or put out a song every week for 2.5 years. And that's just how it is, right? To me, it's no big deal. It's just inevitable. It's just, of course I would do those things because it's inevitable. Of course I would do those things. Excuse me, I just ate fried rice and pulled pork. Okay, a weird combo, I know, but it's okay. It wasn't too bad. I'm eating it a couple days in a row now. Gotta go back to the store soon. Truly tragic. I fucking hate going to Sam's. Okay, I hate going to the store. I hate going to Walmart, right? God, I hate it. But yeah, it's just inevitable. Okay, I will make it happen. Now, I'm not posting 4 times a day anymore. I've decided that I've gotten good enough at speaking, right? And I've had several people tell me, you speak well now. Well, thank you. I've been practicing, a lot. Okay, I would hope that I speak better now. So I've got the skills down a little bit. From here, now it's about getting views. And I've been thinking the past, I guess this would be 3 days now that I'm where I'm like, what is the best way to get views, right? Because something that's been really difficult for me in my journey as a content creator and person interested in business is I'm not willing to give up a lot of things. And I think that is challenging, right? I've always wanted to somewhat enjoy what I do because otherwise, what the fuck is the point, right? Like, what is the point? Sure, you can find aspects of cutting lawns that you enjoy, like and blah, blah, blah. But I always wanted to at least like what I do because if not, why not just go get a job, What's the difference if I'm just going to trade one job I don't like for another thing that now I'm the head of that I don't like? Why would I ever build something that I'm going to be fucking strapping my whole life to that I don't even enjoy, right? That would be foolish, okay? I think that's foolish. People who do that, more power to you if you can tolerate it. But for me, simply can't. I need to at least enjoy it. And then on top of that, I have some ethical hangups, I have some ethical hangups. There's things I'm not willing to do that other people are. And There's also things like legacy and stuff like that. I don't really care too much about legacy, but maybe meaning is a better word, right? I would like what I do to have some impact. I see a lot of YouTube creators who, you know, they started as gaming content creators, did that for years, and now all of a sudden in 2026, they're like, guys, no more gaming. You know, I look back and all of it was fucking slop. All I did every day was show up, play a game for 40 minutes, and well, now I'm here, 35, and it's been a good life, but I'm like, damn, I wish I had done a little more. I wish what I did fucking meant something, right? Like, maybe let's just start with the meaning something, right? Like, not every video, not everything I say, not everything I do has to be some grandiose thing with purpose, you know? And in fact, if it did, it would probably be fucking unbearable. People who act like what they're doing is going to change the world every moment are unbearable people to be around. It's pretentious, right? To assume that you can have any real impact on the world as one person, right? In a way, of course, there's ways to do it in a non-pretentious way, I suppose. But I think I need to figure that out. I don't know where I was going with that necessarily. Listen, I want to at least make a little impact. And I know you can do that by like being a friend to you, the viewer, you know, someone who, when you don't feel good, you're having a rough day, you come watch Northernlion and it's like, man, I really enjoyed my time there. I'm glad I was there. Or you build a community of people who can, you know, work together and, you know, help each other and all of that stuff. And you can do that in a, you know, in a way, but I would like to maybe help a little more than just that. I feel like I have really beaten myself down to a paste and built myself back up into a person I'm proud of, and that's a really tough thing that really everyone wants to do. You know, everyone would love to be a better person than they are right now. I think everyone, or I guess maybe not everyone, lots of people see a gap between who they are and who they could be, right? And certainly that gap still exists for me, but I'm like a quarter of the way down the road or something. I'm not at the beginning, right? And I would love to help people catch up to me at the quarter of the road in some way. But also, I don't want to be a fucking pretentious prick either, right? Like, I don't want to be sitting here talking about self-improvement every day only, or, you know, and how even successful can you be at YouTube and streaming and stuff like that doing it? There's people who do it, but it's incredibly hard. It's a saturated niche. Everyone wants it because there's a lot of money in it, right? There's a lot of money in solving people's problems like that. So I've just been bouncing around a couple of ideas, and this is completely derailed off of how 75 Hard has changed my life. And now we're talking about what I'm going to do in the future on this channel. But I've got a couple things that I'm thinking about, you know? I've narrowed it down to a few options, and maybe I'll just do all of them, like say fuck it again. Like when I started this channel, it was 4 videos a day. I had utterly zero idea what those 4 videos could be. Like, no earthly idea what those 4 videos could be. I just fucking let it rip and figured it out as we went. If we had a good idea, I made it, right? Simple as that. Shrimple as. So let's just do it again, I guess. I have some ideas now that I think, now that I've gotten better at speaking, right? And can do this a little better. It's no longer going to impede me from actually making good videos in the way that I want to. So let's try and make some of those good videos. Let's take some of the ideas I have or like this skill that I'm developing, and let's try and put it to some use into different things, you know? I doubt there will be another Clash tier list because it's just fucking pointless. It's fun entertainment for you, and I understand that, and I like entertaining people, but it's just not, who gives a fuck about a Clash tier list, bro? It's not a real, you don't care about that. You're not waking up tomorrow thinking, damn, my life's so much better because I watched that Clash tier list. And not every video I make needs to do that for you, certainly, but what a disappointing life it would be to only amount to that, right? That's why you see all these people who used to do gaming content be like, you know what, I'm going to do something else now because I've realized, fuck, this was cool, but I got to play video games for a living. Who doesn't want that? But then you realize, damn, it's just kind of meaningless, you know? I didn't really I changed people's lives in some way, but I certainly could have had more impact probably if I did something else. So maybe we can try and incorporate things and do multiple things, and yeah, just let it rip. I don't know. I'm just telling you where I'm at, you know, for the few people who care. Where I'm at, what I'm thinking, you know, and I have to make one of these. I promise I will, you know, I need to change the little intro. I'm like uploading 4 days until we were blah, blah, blah. I will upload every single day. I can promise you that. I will always upload daily. It's part of the process. I'm intent on it, okay? I'm intent on that. I'm not burnt out, though. I actually feel a wave of energy. I've gotten some advice from people who are knowledgeable about YouTube and some who aren't, and there's encouragement there in a way. People are like, yeah, I think you are doing pretty good. I think you just need to figure this out. And I you know, it's good. It's good to have a problem in front of you, right? And to be working on it yourself and be like, I've identified these things that need fixed, and maybe there's just some ways I could fix them. And then you show your problem to someone else and they're like, oh, these things need fixed. I'm not quite sure how you can fix them, but those things need fixed. There's something very powerful in having examined a situation, letting someone else examine it, and both of you coming to the conclusion that these areas, you both point to the same area on the map and you're like, we need to go there. We got to fix that, okay? It's that pipes that's busted, you know, let's fix that. So everybody's giving me the same feedback, which is essentially, there's no reason to fucking watch these videos, which I understand. I knew from the beginning, right? There's no reason to watch these videos for anybody who doesn't super love me. And how could you love me? You've never met me. You have no idea who I am, right? Coming across your YouTube page for the very first time. How could you love me, right? So there needs to be a reason to click. Now that I understand, okay? Of course I do. I'm a YouTuber already. I'm a full-time creator. I know that. I know that. It's just, what do I choose? What do I possibly choose to talk about that would make people care about what I have to say? And there's nearly an infinite number of things to talk about. You know, I've got some interest of my own. There's the current interest of the internet. There's a lot to talk about, okay? Everybody spends all goddamn day talking about shit online. That's all we fucking do now. So there's plenty of stuff to talk about. It's just like, what do I want to talk about, right? And man, what a tough question, you know? What a tough question, because I'm trying to balance things like, what do I like? What do people like? What's the internet talking about right now? What would have an impact? What would make money? What would actually get clicks? You know, there's so many things to think about there. So it's tough. But I think I've got it narrowed down. I think I've got it narrowed down to a few things I want to try. So I would say expect some real videos tomorrow. Expect some real videos, some honest efforts. I would like to talk about Hytale again. I've played pretty much all there is to offer, and frankly, I'm a little disappointed. I'd like to talk about that. I think I could provide a lot of... I go on Reddit, right, on my phone, typically, and I look at stuff, and my phone is fucking busted. And plus, I spent all this time teaching myself how to type, and now that I know how to type, typing on the phone fucking blows, okay? I can't do it. I'm bad at it. So I want to type, I want to answer, you know, reply to stuff on Reddit, but I'm not at my fucking computer. I'm on my phone, so I feel like I can't do it because I hate typing. So I think there's some Reddit posts that I could reply to and be like, hey, here's what I would do. Here's what I think, and give advice to people. And I think I'd be good at that. I feel like people throughout my entire life have always come to me for advice. I feel like I'm a very level-headed, calm person. So I feel like, and I've spent so much time building myself into a better person. I've accomplished things that other people dream about accomplishing daily, but never take action for it, like doing 75 hard or becoming a full-time content creator or losing 40 pounds and blah, 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 blah. But I can share some of that, you know, and maybe that's where we'll go. And then from there, we can also like talk about the news and stuff like that, because I think I've gotten good enough at talking that I can talk about some stuff. As long as people care about it, I hope they'll listen. I think I'm getting to the point where people will listen to me if I talk about things they care about. But I got to talk about something people care about. So that's where I'm at. I'll quit rambling. I'll quit talking your head off. Okay, this video's gone long enough. So let's just, let's go. Peace and love, y'all.